piece. Well, today's the day I finally talk about my Alice pack that I've been talking about the last two videos. Before we get into this though, thank you for getting me over 250 subscribers. We're currently at 263. Not gonna lie, that makes me feel pretty good. If I'm getting subscribers at a decent pace like that for how many views I get and how small I am, I must be fairly interesting. So thank you very much to all of you. And if we get to 500, and I'm sure we could do that before the end of the year, maybe even by the summer, we'll do something special. So let's push hard to get to 500, all right? Another thing for the channel, getting a solo 1 or 2 night camping video out, like dispersed, like way out there camping video, might be sooner than we think. I'm not gonna, now don't hold my word to that, but I'm getting most of the equipment, so that might be pretty soon. Another thing is the app session videos are gonna be a more consistent thing. I like to do them. I think the last two I talked about, at least the most recent one, was pretty interesting, and I think if I just get better at this whole thing, I can make some pretty good videos. All right, well, now, before we get into this, also, you see I got my Flecktarn on. Works pretty well around here in the fall and a little bit in the winter, but I hadn't worn it in forever, so I was like, you know, I need to put this shit on. All right, so now starting with my Alice pack, before we get completely into it, let's take into consideration that I don't have everything I need in this or on this quite yet. I'm still working on it. Had it for over 1.5 years, and things have been on it, things have been taken off, things have been put in the butt pack, and things have been taken out. So I'm still working on it, and I know there's some things I need to get, and I'll probably mention those. But if I don't mention them, you know, I still probably know I need it. But, you know, if there's anything that I'm missing you might think I need, go ahead and say it. I might already know, but it doesn't hurt to be told, right? So obviously, this is an Alice LBE load bearing equipment. And what we'll do here is we'll start from both ends and go to the middle, because a lot of the stuff that's on the ends is the same, right? So obviously, these on the ends here, we have 2 ammo pouches. And obviously what's in an ammo pouch, we've got some classic 30 round AR magazines that I use for my Colt AR 15A4, which is like a M16A4 clone. Right? Now obviously if I do some of this dispersed camping in certain places, especially because I plan on taking this to Yosemite this summer, I can't have that in there because of, first of all, gun laws, and most national parks don't let you carry around a rifle like that, right? Which, that's fine. The only thing is with all that weight in the back, I'm not sure what I'm gonna have in here. But, you know, I can put other stuff in here. That's the beautiful thing about it. There's a decent amount of room that I could move some stuff in here into here if I wanted to make it lighter, you know? Once we get to that, we'll get there. Now, since this is on this, obviously I got one of these old school lights that the military used to use. I keep the red lens on it because I have better flashlights on me in this, but if I want to read late at night, or if I want to keep a really low profile and be doing something, I have that. If I want to walk around at night, I have that, but not bring a lot of, attention to myself. Now on here you might see I have another ammo pouch, but this I do not use for ammo, and obviously it's a much older one from this, because, by the way, these two are new old stock, like just reproductions, I guess, of Alice, and they still work well, but these you can get for pretty cheap, and you know, if they're more beat up, that's what this stuff's meant for. After these 2 magazines that I've talked about in this flashlight, I have looped around the Alice belt, the waist belt, a compass. Obviously doing this kind of stuff out in camping, going to places I don't know, and just exploring these things, I might need a compass. Some crazy situation might happen, and I get off track from where I was at, and I need to kind of find a way back out, you know? Just always have a compass, right? This is going to be used for, it isn't, not currently yet, but I'll still show you what's in it. I'm gonna make this into a condensed IFAK if I can. I have the other IFAK pouch and container thing, the old ones that they used to have for this, like just some medical stuff in it. But I'm a little skinnier, so having this without having the magazines right in front of me so I can actually go prone if I needed to, like you're supposed to have it, which I'll show later in the video. I'm just a little skinnier, so it's more horizontal than how this one is. So I'm gonna use an old ammo pouch. What I have in here for now is just I've kind of thrown stuff that'll probably go in here or maybe in my rucksack. I got 2 glow sticks, a carabiner I could probably just hang my keys off of if I wanted to put them in there, flashlight, which is, you know, 600 lumens compared to that fucking thing. And then I have more of just these like Pepto-Bismol diarrhea things, because if you're in a survival situation, if you're out camping like there, maybe for like a week, you start having diarrhea, that can be very dangerous for you, right? Out in those conditions, being sick like that, not good, especially considering you're probably not, some people might just be really thugging it out there and doing it to the extreme, this camping stuff, and if they get diarrhea with, you know, not the right food or not the safest water to drink, that could be very dangerous for them. So, you know, just have it in there, because why not? A lot of these things are like, you know, why not? Without carrying too much crap, right? For this camping stuff. But for now, I'm just gonna throw my compass in here. I mean, not really much to talk about. It's not built up how I want. And I'll write IFAK on it, you know, in case someone finds me. I don't know, they know better. Or they know, I guess, right? And so, after that, always have to have water, right? If you don't have water or food, you're probably gonna fucking die. So I have, you know, just the standard 2 canteen pouches, obviously, with the canteen. One thing I will say I'm missing for this is I don't have the metal, I have the metal cup that goes inside this pouch and goes over the canteen. Like, let me bring this out again, where it goes, you know, around it. The one for cooking, I would love to have that, because you can boil water with it, you can cook, you can do a couple things with that, and I just don't have it yet. They're pretty cheap, so I'll definitely get one that fits in there, but for now I just don't have it, so I thought I'd mention that. But in these little pouches that both of these have, you might know what I have in here, but it's just these water purification tablets. You pop them in there, 30 minutes, it's clean. Now, these aren't like the best necessarily to have, because some of them, maybe different brands and whatnot, make your water taste like crap. But if you're thirsty enough, that won't matter. But, you know, I like to have them because it's just in case, and it doesn't take up a lot of room, right? Now, water should be pretty obvious to everyone that you need it, right? I don't think anyone's arguing that. So to always have water on you, especially something that's not a bag, like this load-bearing equipment, is just perfect. But as you see, a bit of an obscure thing on a load-bearing equipment and a lot of people's different setups is that I have an axe on the end. Maybe you're thinking, young adult over here, you fucking moron, why do you have an axe? You don't need to have an axe on your back. I would assume that's what people say, because I've never seen anyone do it. And what I would say is, fuck off. You could always use an axe. I also just tend to really like axes anyways. But obviously it's an axe. You can cut wood with it. You could, you know, shave down some little kindling to make it off of bark. You name it with an axe, of a general thing you'd use it with an axe, you can use that. But also mine has this on the end. If you needed to break rocks, and obviously with more of you people out there with more bushcraft skills than me, you know some uses for this, more than I would. But you can't go wrong with an axe. And you know, if I go away from my rucksack and I see a mountain lion, and now I'm not saying I'm gonna be a badass and just kill it like that, but if I needed to, I could defend myself with either side of it, right? From my idea, my perspective of and that this load bearing equipment is that how I'm using it, I want to have a little bit of everything I need to survive. Not in abundance, not just a bunch of crap on here. Like I got water, I got ammo if I was carrying a rifle, I got my compass, this is gonna be an IFAK at some point. And then I have the lights and other stuff in it. Obviously I got my light over here. I recorded this after the butt pack, but I did forget to mention two things with this. On my left shoulder strap, I have one of these little pouches, and what I have in here is a multi-tool, and most people know what a multi-tool is, but it's got a file, it's got some different little blades in it, it's got a flathead screwdriver piece, it's got a Phillips screwdriver piece. I really want to bring everything out, but you get the point. Then obviously it has pliers, but you'd be surprised what you can do with the multi-tool until you have one. You could just do the most obscure things with it. Don't really want to get into that because, like I said, a lot of just weird little different things, also depending on your scenario or where you're at, what you're doing, even outside of camping. Multi-tool is just good for a lot of different things. If you care to know the brand, it's just an Ozark Trail. Probably one of the decent Ozark Trail products, to be honest, because some of it's fucking crap. Another thing I wanted to talk about that I did already record, but I wanted to talk about it a little more, is my Buck 119 knife. Now where that sits is in between this left canteen and my light on the magazine pouch. So I just have the sheath right there. The sheath has a drain hole on the bottom. If water gets in it, it drains out really nice. But also, Buck knives are just known for their good heat treats. Obviously with the knife you could do a multitude of things out here, cut the most random stuff, shave wood, whatever. Hell, maybe to kill something, or to fillet a fish, gut something if you're hunting and camping, something like that. If you're into that, knife's good, always good to have a few of them. But on my pack I have this Buck 119 right here. But again, point is that all the stuff I have in here I could use to survive for just a little bit. Water purification, food in here, 5 MREs, stuff to make a fire. But we'll get into what's in here, right? But anyways, so how I have the axe on here is there's one of the loops on the side of this butt pack. I put the sheath over that. I run the axe through, which I'm gonna keep it off to get in here, and then I run it under these buckles, and it stays perfectly fine. There's no worry of it getting out because it's secure in there, unless someone pickpockets me and takes it out. And in that sense, if someone did that to me in the middle of fucking nowhere, I probably deserved it, right? And now, of course, let's get into the butt pack. Now, let's take into consideration, this isn't completely built yet. But kind of just to show you how I have it set up is, that one's actually a little loose, which that doesn't happen, but I am gonna do something to fix that. It's actually stayed pretty tight for a long time too, so. But I just got like a simple knot on it. I let it run loose a little bit. But this actually isn't the right butt pack for this kind of load bearing equipment. This is better for the LBV 88, and I think that's what it was designed for. But I made it work for mine. I don't like my butt pack to sag too much, so I tied it up here so it would be up here rather than just hanging way down. I just can't stand when it's just way down, especially if you're running. It doesn't feel too good. But now, once we get in here, as my fire just goes out, but that's fine. I don't need it anymore. I was just kind of practicing. Hello, Max. The first thing I have in my load bearing equipment butt pack is I just have a Warrior Co. Rhodesian brushstroke shirt. I bought this shirt and it was size too small for me. This is a small and I needed a medium. So I bought the medium and I was like, hell, I'll put this in here. If I got shot, let's say, which crazy situation, probably wouldn't happen. Hopefully it doesn't happen. I could cut off blood circulation with it. I could, if I had a bad cut or something that I was bleeding out of my fucking artery, I could do that. Again, hopefully not crazy situation. But I could cut this thing up to do a lot of different things. Maybe even to make a shelter. Like you could use part of this, I don't know. But also, if I just wanted to rest and had something little to rest my head on, I got me a little pillow. Perfect. A little bit of luxury. Next thing we have in here, which I've been considering just putting in my rucksack, is just some binoculars, 12 by 50, Bushnell if you gave a shit about the brand. Not much to say about these. Not sure why they're in there. It'd probably make this a lot lighter, but way of thinking when I originally put it in there was I might, you never know, might just need to see really far or want to see really far, you know, look out in the distance and be like, where would be a good spot? Maybe I need to find some water. And it's kind of there. Now, to be fair, I still have to take the rucksack off to get to this, to get to that. But at the same time, if I left my pack somewhere and just went here for a while, I have it. Yet again, another one of those things where I said, probably don't really need it in there. But we'll take it first few times, see how we feel. And I think it really just, it's different depending on where you go, right? So, I don't know, we'll see. Next thing I have in here is, I tried this. I didn't use it for that fire, but I tried it for one yesterday when I was getting some more practice in. It's just Duraflame fire starter. I didn't want to do that. But it's something to help it burn better. Hello, Max. Say hello to Max, right? But get out of the way, okay? It just makes it easier to start a fire for more convenience of wanting to eat faster or needing to get warm faster. It just makes it easier. It's more of a luxury thing. And I figured I would try it. They don't work the best in my opinion, but I have it in here. Next thing is, though I probably don't need it for what I'm using it for, if I really needed to hide from somebody, I just have the 4-color face paint, camouflage face paint. Not much to say about that. You kind of know what it'd be used for. Then I have just a slightly colder weather balaclava. Could probably actually be perfect for this kind of weather or a little colder. Yet again, just another one of those things of, ooh, a little cold on my face, but the rest of my body's fine because of what I already have on. Just put it on, you know? That way, if I have to take everything off to get to it, I can take a little bit of a break, sit down, you know? Now, mind you, another thing, a few things I don't have in here. I don't currently have MREs, but you see me eating some tuna, so the idea is having some food in here. I'm talking like Corporal's Corner now, ain't I? I don't have my wool gloves in here that I had in the last video because they're in my back pocket. It's a little colder out here right now. I've been in here early morning when it was pitch fucking black out here. And then I don't have my lighter in here, which, to be fair, a lighter I might keep in my back pocket, but, you know, I can have a lighter in here. You know, there's a few other things I could probably have in here, but with time they will be in here. Put in the comments if you're still watching what I could have. Next thing, 550 paracord. Now, there's better cords out there with the modern technology of these things, but 550 paracord is so easy to get. You get it at damn near any Walmart that has a camping section, which should be almost all of them. Unless you're in California, and maybe they're a bunch of pussies over there, I don't know. But you know, it's so cheap to get it in a lot of places, and it works for a lot of things. And another thing I just thought I don't have in here right now is some sort of tape. You'd always use tape for a lot of things as well. I don't have one in here, but I know what I'm gonna go get later when I go to town. I have a poncho. It's not rolled up the best, just kind of flat in there. Kind of works as a base for this, and actually with the little drain hole in the bottom, right there, you know where they're at if you've ever had one of these, right? Most people watching this probably have this already, but having the poncho in the bottom with everything pushed on it kind of works as making it waterproof if I sit my ass on a really wet spot or in a puddle, so it doesn't get all this wet, because that wouldn't be a super big deal. It would kind of suck a little bit, especially if it was 10 degrees outside and I wanted to get my wool gloves, but then they're wet. Not really good. So I guess I never really thought of it, but I just have it down there in the bottom for that. But obviously with the poncho, you can build a shelter with it, or if it's raining, you put it over you. Pretty simple. Everyone should know what a poncho does. But if not, now you know. That's a good thing. All right, so you can clearly see how it looks on me. Now, mind you, it is a little loose because it's been the winter months. So when I have been wearing this, recently it's been a lot. There's usually more, more to pull it out because I have more cold weather stuff. But it's kind of loose with just this Flecktarn thing on. But I try my best to keep it where I can go prone, and I can do that pretty well. They could be further, but it's fine. Still working on it right. And I am gaining more weight again. Gonna go up in the higher weight class for boxing, so I'll definitely be able to feel, stretch it out more anyways. But, like I mentioned, I got 2 ammo pouches with ammo, or magazine pouches, I guess is the correct term. Got another one here for soon to be an IFAK light, buck knife. Got the water. Got my axe with the butt pack. Other canteen. But what's cool about this equipment is obviously it was used for military use, but it's so good for this camping stuff. I mean, I don't think there's anything like it that's just a harness that you carry stuff and go camping with. I'm sure there is something, but I've never seen it. And that's what I like so much about it, that though I can use it for carrying my rifle around and maybe training with my rifle to get better with it. Because I think if you have a gun, you should be good with it. But then you can use it for going out to survive, because, you got pouches made to carry canteens and canteens that go with those that were designed for it. And then you got the butt pack, and you have all sorts of stuff in there. Hell, you could even have a really small backpack. If you really wanted to thug it out in the woods, you could not even take a sleeping bag and just went and slept by a rock and, kind of threw your poncho over it for a little bit of a protection from wind or something. And just having this stuff on you, you could go out there for a night or 2 nights. Hell, you could probably make it 3. If you manage to catch a fish or something and cook that. I mean, you got the stuff to start a fire. You got water. And if you got stuff to start a fire, you could probably make food of some sorts. Depending where you're at, food could be everywhere, or food could be very scarce. Sometimes it could be plants, a whole lot of plants and animals around you. Could just be animals. So, just depending on where you're at, right? But that's my perspective on this stuff, is that it's just so good for carrying a little bit of everything without carrying a bunch of stuff you don't need. I believe everything I have on here, with the exception of the binoculars, a bit iffy on. Everything I have on me, I could use out there, and it makes complete sense. But obviously, there's more stuff to get better. Things to change, more will come, and in time you'll see that. But soon, we're gonna get us one of those videos. We're gonna be out there very soon. So I hope you enjoyed. Sorry this video is a little whack, but I did mention I was gonna make this video, and it gives me more time to prepare for the good content coming out. So please like and subscribe if you haven't. Let's get to that 500. See ya.